are patient. You, my child, are away. Waves are crashing, rivers churning, planets twirling, stars ablaze. Storms are raging, atoms whirling. You, my child, are away. To perceive these wondrous things, to count the beats of a blackbird's wings, to tell a story and dance and say. All the splendors of creation, very happy that you came, because they needed someone to see them. And you, my child, are away. To perceive these wondrous things, to count the beats of a blackbird's wings, to tell a story and dance and sing. Seeds are hopeful, dewdrops fleeting, oak trees crooked, redwoods straight, and they are not known to the sleeping. But you, my child, are away. You, my child, are awake. You, my child.
I don't know why such petty games always catch me up, and I don't know why there's so many things left to hold on to that tie me down. Something old is giving me a warning, ancient dream, apocalyptical prophecy of a coming time when the earth will tremble with a fever and a chill. Yes, it will. I have had the good graces to meet a few friends who I can turn to in my dark house, and I wonder if they see just what they mean to me, those shining God's garden. I'm trying to spread my love day by day, but it's hard to stay that open-hearted way. We all need love to see us through the cold and lonely nights. We're all destined to fly the same soaring heights. Sometimes I fool myself into thinking that I've got nothing left to offer here. That's when I try to be a little kinder to myself and the world all around. Why can't we just love one another the way we should, as sisters and brothers? Help along the way back home. We're all going home. Good morning. Welcome to our continued journey here at All Souls. If you're with us this Sunday morning, we're very glad to see you. It's a beautiful day. And if you join us later on, we hope that it still provides some kind of a respite for you, some relaxation or something to help you de-stress in this crazy time. Here at this church and in Unitarian Universalist circles, we're organized around covenant rather than creed. We don't believe that you have to think like us or believe what we believe individually to be a part of this community. We can still all walk in integrity and try to foster compassion in this world. We are called to live in accordance with truth as we are given to know the truth in this world and not worry about what comes after this, except, the lives of our children. So whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us, we welcome you. Valuing diversity is a treasured part of this tradition, and all of us here do what we can, learning to interact respectfully with those who have differing paths and opinions. This is our challenge, and this is our covenant. Welcome on this day that we honor mothering in the world, and I would like to invite our board president to share a few words with you. Bennett Upton.
Great. Thank you, Barbara. And I just had a few announcements to make. One is that we've got the congregational meeting that's going to be on the 24th of May. And so I look forward to seeing all of you guys there. We're going to be electing new board members. And it's going to be an important and eventful meeting. And it should also be short and worth your time to attend. If you are a member, we would be happy to have you there. If you're not a member, we would also be happy to have you there. But we'll send out a link, and so if you want to attend that, make sure and keep an eye out for a link, or hit us up on Facebook, and we'll let you know. Also, we're trying to make a much more concerted and organized attempt to build the intentional community and to reach out to every member and to make sure that we contact everyone who we believe wants to be a part of this community. We might be missing some folks. So what we're doing first is we're setting up Zoom calls, and we're getting groups of people together to build this community. And If you have not been reached out to yet, you probably will be within the next week, or if you aren't within the next week, then we missed you on the list. And we want to be more intentional about including everyone. So please let us know if you have not been reached out to and you would like to be. If you don't want to be on a Zoom call, I understand that not everybody likes to have big group meetings and things like that. Just absolutely fine. We totally understand. And we'll continue reaching out to everyone in different ways to find what ways everyone is comfortable with being reached out to. Also, in the same spirit, we've had some questionnaires circulating around, and over the coming week, we're going to push out a new questionnaire to try and figure out exactly where everyone's interests lie. So that we can try and get everyone who wants to be involved. So I apologize in advance for all of the email spam that you may be getting from me. So, but the groups that we're going to be building, just to let you know, they're going to be coming from different folks. So you may be seeing All Souls in the subject line, but they'll be asking you to participate in a Zoom call. And so you may see somebody's name that may be unfamiliar to you, but they'll be reaching out to you. So don't think that, well, there's always the email scam chance, but it should be very clear that over the course of the next week. That's why I wanted to let you know, so you don't think that's a scam. So I've taken up too much of your time already, and I would like to pass it along to Susan and see if she's got any announcements for you.
Thank you so much, Bennett, and good morning, everybody. It's so nice to have you here with us. Just a few things. First of all, I wanted to piggyback a little bit on what Bennett said about if you don't want to do Zoom, we totally understand it. And also, if that stems from more of, well, I don't know Zoom, or I have anxiety about Zoom, I might like to be on a screen with all my friends and see their faces and talk to them, but I have, I'm not sure I know how to do this. Please get in touch with me or Bennett. There's a number of us that would be more than willing to do a little practice Zoom call with you and help you get familiar with the technology. That would be no problem at all. And so don't let, if it's just technology anxiety that's keeping you from participating that way, then don't let that be a barrier. We want to help you with that. And I wanted to remind you also, we have Family RE right after the service. It's usually about 5 minutes, give or take, from the end of the service. And the link will be in the comments. And I want to thank Steve Caldwell. He's kind of our putting links in the comments guy. Our Facebook concierge, I believe, is a term I have heard for that, which is, very, very, very Tony kind of term there that I kind of like. Anyway, there was something else. Oh, Together Louisiana is going to be getting together a massive virtual meeting with the governor and other public officials. That will be May the 26th, which is a Tuesday at 6 p.m. So please put that on your calendars now, and we'll be sharing more details as we get closer to the date. Our theme for this is to reimagine Louisiana. We had a service a few weeks ago about coming back thoughtfully, and that's what we're trying to do as a state to help, bring people in from the margins and reimagine what life could be as we, hopefully slowly and carefully come back from this pandemic quarantine. And in high school and middle school, we're going to try again now that school is getting out in the next week or so. We're going to try again, and we'll be getting some word out for that about, because I know y'all are probably zoomed out at this point. I understand that with school and everything, and so we'll be trying to reach out in the next week or so to maybe plan some stuff for summer. And I think that's all I've got. So I'll hand it back to Barbara.
Thank you, Director of Lifespan Religious Education. We appreciate all that you and our board president do, along with all the people that are helping us with this service today. And there are quite a few. I invite your comments about things. If there's something we can improve, we keep trying to do better and better, and hope that will be your experience if you stay with us over time. Now, I did this a couple of weeks ago, but I would really like for you to indulge me here for a minute. I'm going to ask you to take your right hand and place it on the top of your left arm. And this is ableism, and I'm going to ask the people who are limited to please make whatever adjustments you need to try to accommodate this. Now take your left hand and put it on top of your right shoulder. Lean your head towards your hand. Now close your eyes and imagine the hug of someone who has loved you very much in your life. A mentor, a teacher, a loved one, whether they're alive now or not. And give yourself a squeeze. Thank you. People are missing contact. People are longing for a connection that they haven't had for a while now. And I hope that gave you a little bit of a sense of somebody being there with you. Now, as we move towards the body of the worship service, we use the word worship going back to the Old English roots of the word, meaning to elevate and contemplate matters of worth. And in our theologically diverse community, those matters of worth are varied. Still, we come together in celebration of that which is greater than ourselves. In light of all these considerations, let us enter the spirit of worship. We'll be singing the song Spirit of Life. I think the lyrics will be on your screen. I invite you to sing with me. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Who told me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Today, in this time that we set aside to be quiet or to reset, may we each find palpable resonance with the deep source and root power of the ever-unfolding universe. May the soul of love stir within each of us, and as we try to open our hearts and relax our resistance, I offer these words from Victoria Weinstein, amended just a tad. We reflect in thanksgiving this day for all those whose lives have nurtured ours, the life-giving ones who heal with their presence, who listen in sympathy, who give wise advice, but only when asked for it. We're grateful for all those who have mothered us, who have held us gently in times of sorrow, who celebrated with us our triumphs, no matter how small, who noticed when we changed and grew, who praised us for taking risks, who took genuine pride in our successes, and who expressed compassion when we did not succeed. On this day that honors mothers, let us honor all mothers, men and women and non-binary alike, who from somewhere in their being have freely and wholeheartedly given life and sustenance and vision to us. Dear God, mother, father, parent of us all, grant us life-giving ways, strengthen for birthing, and a nurturing spirit, that we may take attentive care of our world, our communities, and those precious beings entrusted to us by biology or by destiny or by friendship, fellowship, or fate. Give us the heart of mothering today. Amen. I would like to invite Ava Kate and Jackson Peck to help us with our chalice lighting this morning.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart.
Thank you so much. We light this chalice. Oh, these words come from Claudine Dean Oliva. We light this chalice for mothers and mothering, to celebrate those who have taken on the task of nurturing a young one, baby, child, or youth into adulthood, to celebrate those who have nursed the light of truth and compassion in growing minds and hearts, to celebrate those who have committed time, money, energy to the growth of others in this world. We light this chalice to celebrate and hold dear this flame of love. We also light this chalice to honor the Unitarian part of our heritage today. On Mother's Day, we lift up the memory of 19th century Unitarian Julia Ward Howe, who was an activist for suffragette, an abolitionist, and best known, I guess, for having written the Battle Hymn of the Republic. But she is also the one who wrote the original initial Mother's Day proclamation for peace, asking mothers around the world to join for world peace. So we remember Julia Ward Howe. I would love to invite the Lawrence Allen family household to lead us in our unison affirmation at this time.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other.
Thank you. Our opening hymn will be I Can Love More. It's kind of a call and response. I think the words will be on the screen anyway. You can sing it with me or after me as you prefer. I can love more. I can love bigger. I can love those who don't love me. I can love more, though we might differ. I can love those who don't agree. Love is a door, grounded and centered, bound to the core of all we see. Love is a door. Love makes us better, more than we ever hoped to be. It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. Love isn't small, isn't contingent. Love asks a lot of all we do. Love isn't small, as it's intended. Takes all we've got to live up to. It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. I can love more. I can love bigger. I can love those I don't think see. I can love more, though we might differ. I can love you. Can you love me? Thank you. I want to invite our Director of Lifespan Religious Education, Ms. Susan Caldwell, to share with us a time for everybody.
Thank you. And it really is a time not only for everybody, but by a lot of everybody, because a lot of you helped me with my story today. I put out a request for wise things that your mother or some wise adult in your life at some point may have said to you that meant a lot and stuck with you and was really good advice. And I asked this of all ages and got some wonderful responses. So I would like to read your stories to you. This is stuff moms say. And I started with my own mother, who was very conservative in a lot of ways. And yet one thing she always said to me was, don't ever hide how smart you are for the sake of some boy. If he can't handle it, he's not the one for you. And I took that to heart always. So I really appreciate that. Gail Gawker said that her mom used to say, don't go off in the heat of the day without your blanket. Now, you might be scratching your head on that one, but what do you think that means? That means be prepared for anything. Things are going to change, and just be prepared. Jennifer Russell heard from wise people in her life, you can get glad in the same rags you got mad in, which I just love. And also, and this is really important since we are on Facebook right now, you don't have to attend every argument to which you are invited. How about that? Ravina Windsor said her mom said, do what is right because it is the right thing to do and for no other reason. Alice Norman said that her mother-in-law, Mitzi Norman, always said, you are stronger than you think you are. And you all are, especially right now. You are stronger than you think you are. Kathleen Pittman said that her mom told her in 1992, darling, women have always had abortions and always will, and they need a safe place. And we thank you, Kathleen. Jackson Peck, who you saw earlier, said, my mom says to follow the rules and wash your hands, and she teaches me about reading. And reading, gosh, that's going to serve you well for the rest of your life. And Ava Kate Peck says, if you're doing something you don't like and you just complain about it, it will take even longer and be even worse. Oh, couldn't we all use that advice? Thank you so much. And she also says, moms are there to help you. And we try to be. There are some wise words of past regrets from literature, from thanks to our board president, Bennett Upton, from Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, as Arthur Dent and Ford Prefect are captured and about to be subject to the horrors of Vogon poetry. And Arthur says, it's at times like this, I wish I would have listened to what my mother said. And Ford says, oh, what did your mother say? And Arthur says, I don't know, I wasn't listening. And from our friend, Ms. Willie Myers, whom a lot of you know from Interfaith, she's our friend from Mount Canaan Baptist Church. She said, when I was in high school, my mother told me to be a good leader and not a follower. And I've told that to my children as well. Mary Ann Cummings said that her mom said, if you don't put some kind of sun protection on your nose with all that sunbathing you're doing, it's going to fall off when you are older. And she said this was way before we knew anything about UV protection. And she also said her mom told her, dare to be different and independent. Anne Disraeli had this wonderful exchange with her kids that I asked permission to share. She said, kids, I don't care if you use the toaster, but only under my supervision. To which Evie said, with a look of dismay, Mom, do you really have supervision? And after a long pause, Anne said, why, yes, I do. And finally, if I can share something really quickly. Ella Sanzalone sent this message. She said, my mom taught me that if you have courage and bravery, you can accomplish great things. And so happy Mother's Day to everybody. And thank you so much, everybody. And if I somehow missed your share because I put this request in several places, I am going to collect them all and print them all on the Facebook page. And thank you again, everybody, for contributing.
Thank you very much. Let's see. Now I would like to invite Larry Andros, a meditation teacher and yoga instructor and general all-round wise guy, to share with us a little bit of meditative time, to be still together and to let the dust settle around us as we think of what home feels like, as we think of what mothering is about. And Thank you, Larry, for being with us today.
Thank you and welcome everyone. To begin this meditation, first of all, let your body be settled, your spine straight, releasing any tightness or tension that you might notice. And as your attention moves inward, become aware of your breath and imagine that you are breathing in and out of your heart space, feeling the warmth and presence and peace that are there. And now become aware of life itself, the livingness in you that moves your breath, the life that fuels your choices and your dreams, the life that unfolds its mystery and its power through step and every experience. And reflect, I am alive. I have received the gift of life. I have been nurtured. I have been nourished. I have been supported. I have received life and all that is necessary for it to unfold as who I have been, who I am now, and who I am becoming. And now let some images arise of those who gave some of their life, their time, their presence to the journey of your life. All those who took the role of giving, of nurturing, of nourishment and support with whatever knowledge, skills, and resources they had to offer. Your birth mother, and certainly all those who cared for you and held space for your needs, your safety, and your dreams. Let those images be joined by others, the teachers and mentors who cared, your friends, your family, your colleagues, and all those known and unknown whose knowledge, skills, and courage help you in your journey. And the earth itself, the sun and rain, the beauty and bounty of the earth. I have received the gift of life. I have been nurtured. I have been nourished. I have been supported. And reflect how you have taken this same role for yourself, giving yourself the gift of nurturing, nourishment, and support. How you have sought in so many ways and through so many challenges the seeds of happiness and peace. And reflect how you have assumed this role for others, how you have given life, your time and energy, your presence, how you have given nourishment and nurturing and support to others, how you have wished others well and held space for their dreams and possibilities, for their healing and their wholeness. In the stillness and mindfulness of this present moment, let your attention rest with your breath, the breath of life. As I breathe in, with gratitude, I receive the gifts of life. As I breathe out, with kindness, I share the gifts of life. As I breathe in, with gratitude, I receive the gifts of life. As I breathe out with kindness, I share the gifts of life.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
It seems to me that during our adjusted travel, activity, income, and supply season, this thing that we're in, we've all been learning at least a little about how other people in our society and culture feel. The introverts are learning that they do indeed have needs that must come from outside in. The extroverts are learning a little about why it's important to be okay with yourself and have peace from the inside out. The haves are learning a tiny bit about doing without their normal comforts, and a little more about the frustrations of being at the mercy of circumstances and systems beyond your control. The haves are even being slowed down a little bit and asked to realize that in some unavoidable ways, their fate is absolutely linked to the health and well-being of those less fortunate than themselves. The have-nots are learning that to some extent, in real ways, they are in fact connected to those who are privileged. And that when the system, as broken as it is, stops running altogether, it does not help their situation or improve the conditions that they're in. We're learning new things about ourselves. We're learning new things about the people that we love. We're learning new skills and maybe creative management. We're learning in broad strokes the truth of the interdependent web of existence. Hopefully, we're learning a great deal, and if we're not, it's because we are choosing and working hard at not changing our current view or the perspectives that we have. We're being intentional about it. All of this change and all of these uncertainties and disorienting factors can be quite tiring, challenging, and stressful for everyone who finds it so. A bit of mothering would be awfully nice. Nurturing and comfort and wisdom from sources outside ourselves. To offer these to us or to extend them to someone else. And so if we aren't receiving that love from the outside, I hope we can find ways to nurture ourselves with those qualities. Anyway, for Mother's Day service, we'll be hearing from three people in our congregation, three members, who are going to share a little bit about their thoughts on what mothering has to teach us. First will be James Peck, then Pam Carlisle, and finally John Allen. And I invite you to share with us now, if you will, and then move one to the next. James?
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is happy and well. I wanted to share a few things that mothers that I have had in my life around me, my mother, my wife, things that I've seen and observed from them. The first thing I've seen from them is that mothers are steadfast and tireless caregivers. My sister was born with a rare genetic condition. And she required months of specialized testing and intervention. She was bedbound and required around-the-clock care. And I know when she first got all of the testing done, my mom traveled all around the country, spent quite a lot of time in the Houston area where all the specialty hospitals are. And I remember her getting up all hours of the night. My sister had to have medications crushed and delivered through a feeding tube. I remember her being on a feeding machine and my mom taking care of all of those tasks. When a lot of people might have been in an institution of some type, my mom cared for my sister for a number of years. And I remember she always managed to smile and to laugh and to joke, to take care of me, even while she was pretty sleep deprived during those years. She never complained about that or wavered in her care. And I remember her being by my sister's side, but also being there for me and for my dad. So definitely steadfast caregivers. Another thing that I've learned is mothers model strength, and that might be a little different from the stereotype that you sometimes hear in the world about females being like emotionally weak and things like that. That's not at all what I've observed from any of the women that I'm surrounded with. Both my wife and my mom were career women. After my mom was through with all of the caretaking for my sister, I think that inspired her to become a nurse. And so she was an RN. And of course, my wife is a psychologist, and I was there watching my mom get her degree to be an RN, and then later my wife studying for her PhD. I watched them manage all of the relationships in their lives, as well as studying long hours into the night. My wife completed a dissertation, and even in all of their career, they worked. They seem to take on a lot more roles than I have in my life. I've seen them take on dual, triple, even quadruple roles at times, balancing their nurturing of their own families and also nurturing and giving to the community around them. My mom worked in cancer treatment centers here in town, raised me, but she also volunteered in our youth group, and she was a mentor and leader there. And of course, my wife has a private practice now. She takes care of all of us, and I just posted on Facebook, she's really the glue that holds our family together. But other than that, being a professional helper, a mother, she's also a community educator and a leader, volunteer positions, and is an activist for human rights and justice. So mothers definitely model strength in my experience. They model flexibility and change. My wife and I both grew up in the same tradition, and I've watched her journey through her own process of questioning and change. And it's inspired me to question my own faith and explore new ideas and be open to change. And that's been inspiring. Mothers seem to have an unwavering belief in the greatness within everyone. Mothers are our cheerleaders. They seem to have a sense of expectation and wonder for what their children will become. I see this in my own household. My wife communicates all the time that our children can be anything that they set their mind to. Mothers encourage big dreams, and I think they fill you with a sense that you have the potential within for greatness. Even when you doubt yourself, mothers are always there to make you feel larger than life. And lastly, mothers carry the burden of worry. Mothers seem to keep us safe and they think through the consequences for us all. They prepare and protect, always making sure we have everything we need. I remember growing up on trips in the car, Mom would always have every supply, snack, and entertainment that we needed along the route. Moms always make sure we stay healthy with reminders. Wear your coat or you'll catch cold. Wash your hands. Boy, does that one really ring true now. Make sure that you get down from there if you're too high. So they make sure we're safe. And then some of those worries they share out loud with us, but it seems that I've observed there's even more worry that they keep hidden inside, sometimes not wanting to burden other people with that worry. But I think mothers tend to worry about the world, about the future, and about mankind. I think it's almost a secret, the depth and the breadth of things that mothers are concerned about. I see it in their eyes. But you know, that worry, it seems almost like an eternal prayer within that emanates outward into the world, surrounding all of mankind in this collective blanket of wish, protection, and goodwill. And I thank all the mothers, and I hope all of the mothers out there have a happy Mother's Day today. Thank you all for everything that you do.
Thank you, James. Pam Carlisle, would you like to share with us this morning?
Good morning. So I'm going to talk about lessons that mothering has taught me. And a main lesson that I am going to talk about is actually one that another mother in the All Souls congregation taught me. And you're going to hear probably more about this particular mother from our next speaker. But Amanda Lawrence told me as I was beginning my motherhood journey that, well, and this is for parenting in general, you are going to experience higher highs and lower lows than you ever would. And like a lot of things, there's nuances in this lesson that you maybe don't know until, or understand until you experience it yourself. And I can say I understand now exactly what she meant. And that getting on that roller coaster and staying on that roller coaster and being flexible and expecting those highs and expecting those lows, that yes, that's a lot of what it's about. And I can say that that was true from the beginning with my motherhood journey as a mother. First, as a foster mother, and then as an adoptive mother, and yes, the lows of that, loving a child, losing a child, they were probably the lowest lows I've experienced. But and then when we were able to adopt our daughter, that was about the highest high that I ever experienced. And sometimes people ask, well, how could you have, how did you survive that roller coaster? Sometimes they think maybe they couldn't do it themselves. And strangely, the most helpful lesson that I learned about that was from Leroy Jethro Tull on NCIS, or Gibbs, sorry, Leroy Gibbs on NCIS. But there was an episode with a young man on the show, and he and his wife were about to adopt a baby, and at the very last minute, their hopes were dashed, and he was ready to give up. And Gibbs told him, no, you're already a parent, you're already on the journey, and which means you have to stick with this. You do whatever it takes. And that really helped me get through it, that I was a parent from the get-go, and I would not give up. And then I can also say that another thing that was hard, in addition to the lows, sometimes the highs, but I've talked before about how it took an understanding of grace. I deserved those highs. I could experience the utter joy and accept the gifts that the universe had given me. And now what I'm experiencing is a different kind of low. As a recovering perfectionist now in these days, some of the best advice I got was from another mother of a little girl about my daughter's age, who said, we've just got to set the bar really low. And and now that I am back at work, and my husband is doing an awesome job as a dad. He also has some limited physical abilities, and our daughter has unlimited physical abilities and energy. And we've set the bar about as low as it can go. Keep the child alive and loved, and it'll work out. And then I can say one more thing about the highest high. One of the foster children that we had, of course I don't say names for confidentiality purposes, fate has allowed us to see that child again, and that child is doing great. And it's probably the best feeling so far in my life. So thank you, and happy Mother's Day to everybody, whether you're a mother or someone who really cares about our future generations. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Pam. John?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to anybody who's watching. I've written mine out, so it's going to be a little more direct. If I go off the cuff, I'm going to ramble, and we're going to be here until next Mother's Day. Anybody who's ever heard me speak knows that that's true. But I will say, when Barbara asked me to speak today, it gave me pause. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I had anything worthy to say on the subject of motherhood, at least not something that any of you should have to listen to 3 to 4 minutes, which is the timeline I've been given, so wish me luck on that. As I thought it through more, though, it occurred to me that we all have experience with motherhood in one way or another. Motherhood is one of the only 2 truly universal relationships that every human being can relate to. In the film class I teach, I point out to my students how often we see the mother-child relationship used as a core element to stories. This is because no matter who your viewer is, they have a mother. They may not have children, they may not have siblings, aunts, uncles, they may not even have friends, but every single person has a mother, and that relationship is significant. Even if they don't know who their mother is, or their mother is absent for some reason, that fact is itself a significant part of who that person becomes. It's literally the first bond every human feels or feels the absence of. Filmmakers come back to that well so frequently because they know they can trigger a strong emotional reaction from any person watching. We've all experienced it. What does it mean to be a mother? I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I fell back on the cliched middle school term paper crutch and looked up the meaning of the word mother to spur some ideas. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the word mother means first a female parent. Well, duh, not much to work with there. The second definition is a woman in authority, and an old or elderly woman is the third. The second holds some promise for a topic to talk about, but it really didn't strike me as encompassing what I was looking for. Focusing on the third definition would likely have me sleeping on the couch for the next week. The fourth definition, however, is source or origin. And that hit me strongly. Our mothers are so much of who we are that the title itself means where you come from. Mothers are literally vessels for every one of us to come into existence. If the role of mother stopped there, it would already be monumental, but it continues. The role of vessel reverses, and we become vessels for what our mothers pour forth into us. At the beginning, some mothers bring forth bodily sustenance, the primary people who keep us alive. As we grow, our mothers pour forth their love and their ideas into us, forming who we are and how we see the world. The experience of motherhood is a complex one for me personally. My relationship with my own mother is definitely complex, laying the groundwork for some clinically fascinating relationship patterns in my adult life that I've negotiated with varying levels of success over the years. One beneficial side effect of that process is that I've been in a position to observe at close quarters a higher than average number of women practicing motherhood. I've watched the process of mothers pouring forth their time, love, and attention into my children, and I've seen my children change and grow as a result. The fingerprints of the women in their lives lingering as they've moved out into the world. Watching this, I've felt the fingerprint still pressed into my own soul fade and soften by degrees. The women in my children's lives have changed not only my children, but me as well. Seeing gentler hands at the task has changed my understanding of motherhood and the memory of my own mother as well. In preparing to speak on this Mother's Day, a day that can be complicated for some of us, I've come to realize that we're never done with motherhood, no matter who we are. We carry it with us daily, pressed into our being, part of our very identity. And no matter how old we are, that relationship can change and grow through the mothers around us. Thank you, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, John. I want to invite us to sing about the hope that comes with a mother's heart. There's more love somewhere. Lyrics will be on the page. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. Thank you so very much for joining us today. I want to express deep appreciation for all the people that helped. You did a wonderful job of making this day have meaning that touches our whole lives, not just the Sunday set aside so many years ago. And that sometimes falls into Hallmark. We remember the realities of life, and thank you for sharing those with us as well. As we extinguish our chalice, I want to leave us with the words of Eileen Carpelis. As we part now from one another, let these be our thoughts. If that which is most holy lies within the human person, and if the greatest power in the world shines flickering and uncertain from each individual heart, then it's easy to see the value of human associations dedicated to nurturing that light. The couple, the family, the religious community. For the power of the good in any one of us must at times waver. But when a group together is dedicated to nurturing the power of good, it's rare for the light to grow dim in all those individuals at the same time. So we borrow courage and wisdom from one another to warm us and keep us until we're together again. You're so important. May we go in love. The God in me sees the God in you. And I wish you namaste.